Hi, this is Jonathan Matoshnik. The question is, how do you grow your business when your customers want you on site every time and they don't think your employees are as efficient as you are? So, this is the problem that every business owner goes through, and the problem becomes more exaggerated the longer you stay in the field. So, one of the things that I push for with everybody that I work with, and I advise every business owner, regardless of your industry, to do is to really focus on getting out of the field. And before I answer the question, I want you to think about the fact that if you can hire somebody to do the work in the field for $12 an hour, then you're essentially valuing your time at only $12 an hour. So, whoever can replace you, whatever it would cost to hire that person to replace you in the field, that's all your time's worth when you're working in the field. Now, depending on your industry, or depending if you're doing irrigation, or depending on what you're doing exactly, clearly your dollar per hour could be more valuable. But that's the way to think about everything, and that's generally a motivator to get yourself out of the field. You don't want to make 12 or 14 or $18 an hour. You want to make 50 and 60 and 80 and $100 an hour. And when your time is spent on sales and marketing and growing your business and putting solutions in place in your business to take it to the next level, you're doing high value activities. That's what you want to do. So you have exactly the challenge expressed, and that is that you probably have worked with some of your clients for some period of time, and they like you, they trust you, they hired your company because of you. And so there is a transition period, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There may be a few clients that will ultimately discontinue services with you because you're no longer in the field. Now, I'll tell you this, I don't think there's going to be many. And if they do, that'd be a little concerning about how great of a client they were anyway, because it's not as though you're going to go hire workers that are lousy. You wouldn't want that as your strategy anyway, because that's going to take your business in entirely the wrong direction. Part of building a great business is building a great team. And so it's incumbent upon you to work really hard to go find the right employees. And that is a challenge, but you want to find the employees that can perform as well as you to some degree. Second, it should be known that there is going to be a decline in efficiency when you leave the field. You can pretty much count on it. In almost every role in the business, if it's a role that you like and that you enjoy, you're probably going to be pretty good at it. It's your business. Your life is on the line. Your income, your family's on the line. You're going to work harder than anybody else. And you're building something for you. You bring an employee in, it's not the same experience for them. There is going to be a little less performance on their part. So expect that in every role that you grow out of and you replace yourself with someone else. So back to in the field. Yes, it's entirely true that whoever replaces you is probably going to perform at a little bit lower level than you, but you're not abandoning your client. The conversation with your client, if they even express concern, and be careful to, and I'm not minimizing, but be careful not to, in your head, believe that there's this issue, because it's an easy concern for all of us to think, oh wow, the client's not going to want to work with my company anymore if I'm not the guy. And have they really expressed that to you? You might be surprised. That's what I've found over time. So I've grown a number of companies, and they all start out with me doing the work in the beginning. Every one of them has started that way. Not quite so much with the lawn care, but I was the guy on the phone. I was the guy, working with all the clients. I was the guy doing the estimates. I went and saw them. I'm the one that sold them. I did all that. I'm the one that answered the phone all the time. I believe that the best companies are built by getting out and dealing with the client. So building a company right now that has employees, it's a completely different business, and I have the money not to do it, but I answer the phones and I talk to the employees, the clients every single day, because I learn what their concerns are, I learn what their pain points are, I learn all of that stuff, and I learn how to make something great, whatever it is I'm working on. So you've done the right thing. Now you want to shift out of that. Now that you understand the business, you can hire the right people. And so you want to communicate to your client what you're doing, and you're building a team now, and you want to bring in somebody good, and you might work with them on the property for some period of time, let the client get to know them, and let them earn the trust of the client. Now, if they're a bad employee, then the client has all the right in the world to be disappointed, and they should be. So, again, you're not abandoning your client. What you're doing is you're moving to the next level. So if you're out of the field, you're still going to talk to your client on the phone. You're probably still going to do estimates. You're probably going to still sell them more work. You're probably still going to check in with the client. You're going to spot check your team's work. So you're still there. You're still working with your client. You're just not the guy doing the work. I think the majority of clients understand this. And if there is a client or a handful of clients that will not allow this, your only option is to let these clients go. If you try to stay in the field to satisfy a small number of clients, you're going to mess up the rest of your business life because it is imperative you get out of the field. So I just really want to encourage you to get out of the field and replace yourself and have an honest conversation with a client that actually brings it up. So I don't think you need to address the situation heads on. I think you send your team out there, they do the work, the client asks some questions, just say, yeah, we're growing. We've got a lot of new clients. We really appreciate what you've done to help us grow our business. We're growing. We're becoming more successful, becoming more stable. And we're going to build a team that has some redundancy so that if I'm sick, you still get serviced. You still get taken care of. There's other people in place, and you're still going to be working with me. I'm just not going to be the guy servicing your property. It's that kind of a conversation. And I tell you, I've done this now time and time again. I've replaced myself. I've had roles where I get on an airplane every single month and fly to see major clients that paid us six figures a year. And I was able to work myself out of those roles. Those people bought because of me. Those people continued to do business partly because they trusted me. They trusted me to fix things when there were a problem. And I still, in even relationships that large, was able to work myself out. Now, it was because I was the owner of the company, and they knew I was the owner, so everybody likes dealing with an owner. That's how it works. But I was able to replace myself with somebody that was a $30,000, $35,000 a year employee to go make those same visits, and I'd still check in and talk to my clients. I just wouldn't see them monthly. So even at a very high dollar volume contract, I assure you can work yourself out of this. And once you work yourself out, it's not going to be a problem at all in the future. Your future customers are going to just expect they're hiring a real company with employees. It's only your early clients. And so don't get too worried about it. Have an honest conversation with anybody that brings it up and turn it around to be a benefit to them, as I mentioned earlier. Express it to them in a way that you're building they've helped you grow, you're building a better business, there's now redundancy, you're going to focus on making the company better and quality better, and you're working hard to build a great team, and you're going to add all of these different high value items. Is going to let you expand into future additional services to be of more service to the client. Whatever it is, you know best what your clients want and need and what they hope that you'll eventually offer. How can you express to them this change in a way that it sounds like a benefit to them? And again, you're not abandoning them. Pick up the phone every month and check in with them. Pick up the phone every few weeks and check in with them. Slowly taper that off. That's the natural progression of every business that's built in America, and I promise you it'll work out. Just as with everything in life, figure out how to express it to your client as a benefit, not as a detriment or a bad thing, and it'll all work out. And if they express concern, work through it with them. But this is one of those things you have to get past. And what I mean by that is you've got to, if there's a couple clients that could potentially hold you back, you've got to let those clients go. You can't get stuck here. And so I encourage you to go for it, and I think you'll find it works out great for you. Good luck.